Hello, everybody. It's Helen Panos, Dynamis Learning Academy, a K through 12 tutoring business. We help children reach their potential. The way we do that is we help kids who are struggling to, be on target with their assignments, and those who are even advancing, we help them to do that as well. We have up to 15 tutors, SAT prep as well, and SSAT and PACT and SSAT. So I just wanted to come on today. First of all, I have to apologize. We normally do it at noon. We had already scheduled to do it late this afternoon, but with a guest, Dr. Coleman. Dr. Coleman is unfortunately not doing very well. She's sick. So appreciate your prayers for her good recovery. We are going to reschedule Dr. Coleman at a later date because she had a terrific topic that we were going to talk about. She's a psychologist, so she does a lot of psychological assessments on kids, and we definitely want to get her on here. It'll be early September when we can get her on, possibly August, but stay tuned for that when we announce that again. But today I'm going to talk to you about something that's currently on my mind because since June I've been getting a lot of calls about reading. And I have to say, I'm not very surprised about that because we all know what happened in the last 2 years. COVID did do a number on kids who are having gaps in their reading and reading comprehension. So I want to definitely come on and share some things that parents can be doing at home to help boost reading levels, especially for younger kids. I'm talking kindergartners. It's going to show up definitely in first graders, rising first graders, and second graders and third graders because of the pandemic the last 2 years. If you think about it, some kids that are rising first graders, probably not in rising second graders, have not had a structured environment at all or barely. Some schools, whenever there might have been an issue with COVID last year, they probably bumped them back to virtual again. So consistently, our public schools tried to stay in place last year in the school year, but others may have not. If they were in a smaller school, possibly not. So what I'm seeing is several situations. Number one, that's happening, especially with the rising first and second graders. Also, kids who are here from foreign countries. We tend to tutor a lot of Russian kids. It seems like those have been a lot of referrals. And they know the English to a certain extent, but if they're going to be here to go to school, now they need to know more, right? So we've been tutoring a little Russian boy as well, and he's a rising fifth grader, a rising fourth grader. So I want to talk about how to boost your children's reading levels. I'm not going to take very long today to do that, but I definitely want to share some quick tips, things that may not be going on. I know it's summer, parents. However, this is the time to actually have your children sit down and focus on reading. Now, if they're very young, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, they cannot do it alone. They need you to be there accountable to them. So otherwise, you're not sure if they're reading something correctly unless you hear them. So I'm going to encourage parents. A big strategy is listen and watch as they read and get a feel for, can they read? Where are they stumbling? There must be a pattern. Take a look at the pattern. I'll talk about that in a minute and where the patterns may be. And identify their deficiency if you can to the best of your ability and work with that skill. So make it engaging as well. If kids tend to get bored real quick, get the electronics out of their hands. Kids that young do not necessarily need electronics all day long. I think we're finding that out more and more, and that's what parents are saying to me. But make it engaging, make it fun, then they can catch up over the summer instead of waiting until they enter their grade level they're about to enter, and now they're behind. And public schools are not really slowing the curriculum down. Honestly, they are moving quite ahead. And unfortunately, what that's doing is it's keeping the other kids, it's keeping them behind. So if the children are not going to work during the summer in reading and catching up on any deficiencies, and there's going to be a problem come fall. And that is not something to take lightly. If that continues, then again, the curriculums keep going ahead in public schools and the kids are left behind. And we don't want to see that. We don't want it to develop even further as they get older, because then it gets harder and harder to catch them up. So let me just bring up some things that I think, you may be looking for, that may be problems that we're seeing. So we're tutoring a rising first grader and a rising fourth grader in a home, brother and sister, and both, one, of course, the youngest, is having a little bit more difficulty than the older one. The older one reads quickly, thus not really stopping to comprehend the words he's reading. So it's great that he can read very quickly, but that's not necessarily a good thing, because then you need to ask your child, did they understand what they just read? And ask them questions related to that. It's very important to have the parent there, even with a fourth grader, because if you think they're reading, they may not really be reading, or they're able to read and then you get full, but are they comprehending it? That's a very big key, especially as they get older. So you want them to give you answers to questions you ask related to the reading, and make sure that they do understand it. So they are now accountable to you as the adult. If they don't have accountability, and you ask them to sit down, we're going to have reading time in the afternoon, then they may or may not do it, or they're going to do it the quickest way possible, because it is summer and they're thinking they're on vacation and you're trying to get a good read on how are they doing. So some areas for younger kids to look for, and to look for earlier on, is they want to pronounce words. So they may hear the O sounds and they're like, oh, oh, or it can be like double O's. Anything that's a diphthong, that's your double vowel sounds, like EA. The first letter is pronounced exactly the way it is, E. A is silent. So diphthongs tend to be a very difficult concept for younger kids. Diphthongs, digraphs, things like these type of things. That's where a lot of them are struggling and stumbling. Today, I worked this morning early with a rising first grader, and she was definitely having issues with diphthongs, but she's also having issues with the consonant vowel consonant, such as gal, G-A-L, gap, G-A-P. If I wasn't listening to her, she had started with the G sound, but then when she got to the next word, she changes it to it like a long G instead of a G sound. So very important that parents sit down. I would say block out 20, 30 minutes in the morning. This is what we're doing with this young girl. So we come in every day and we're working with her in the morning before she goes to camp, because it's this important to this parent. And I can't say I blame her. And then they need to also follow up and do it in the evening. And we've discussed that. So first in the morning, then in the evening, especially if there's a deficiency and you're seeing there's a problem, but you can't exactly point out what that problem is in reading. So again, parents, listen and watch as your children read, especially if they're in kindergarten, first, second, third grade. You need to be able to hear it. And if you think your older child is having some issues, we have tutored in fourth and fifth grade, and they do have issues as well. Typically at that age, it's comprehension. So then we can work on skills such as cause and effect, sequencing, comparing, contrasting, synonyms, antonyms, all kinds of things. That's what I was working on with a rising fourth grader today. So again, find them something, especially the younger kids, if you're trying to help them with reading. It's better to make it fun. Find something they're interested in, such as maybe the boys are interested in sports. Young girls might be interested in unicorns or something like that. So this will motivate them to want to read and really work hard to overcome any deficiency that might be there. In terms of kids from other countries, we are tutoring kids from other countries. We have been doing it all year. And happy to help a lot of this Russian, I call them delegation. They all know each other, and I'm being referred to many of them. So if a child has come in here from another country, they know they were taught English possibly in that country. However, now it's the grammar and other things that we do in the English language that they probably were not really taught. They know how to speak the English, but of course, there's variations between their language and ours. So refer any kids to us that have come from other countries, because we do have ESOL tutors on hand to help them. Another big thing I want to bring up here is about the reading and kids being successful with it is usually the attitude is a testament to the success of a child's reading. We tutored a young girl who is now a rising sixth grader in fifth grade. She worked very hard this whole past year in really increasing her reading skills. She was having some issues, again, from a foreign country, but she was having some issues with the diphthongs and comprehension. Tends to be more comprehension the older they get. So we really worked with her. I think it was twice a week and all year. And she was really doing well, but she's very motivated, hardworking, and focused. Those are three key things that your children have to be in order to do this. So attitude is a big testament to a child's success in reading. Parents, you must get involved. There's really no other way about it. I know we like to think that technology is there and it's going to help them. Yes, you can find videos and things like that on the computer. YouTube has plenty on diphthongs and digraphs and things like this. However, it's going to take the extra person to sit there and listen to them pronouncing things, because this young girl is flipping the short vowels with the long vowel sounds. And unless I was sitting there listening to it, it wouldn't have been caught. So parents, you must get involved. The child will then get involved as well. If they see you reading, for instance, maybe you have a family reading time and you are reading along with them. And it's not a bad idea if there's an older one in the house and a younger sibling, that you do have a family reading time of about 30 minutes and everybody takes turn reading out of their book for a few minutes. And then it's great for the young person because they're going to hear a lot of pronunciations they normally wouldn't hear, because it's going to be harder words, of course, than what they're used to in their vocabulary. Today I was working with this rising fourth grader, and he actually didn't know several words. So I want to also encourage parents to take this time during the summer and point things out to your children when you're driving around or you're taking them to a park or anywhere you are. Ask them questions about this. Do you know? He did not know what greenhouse was. We were doing compound words, and he wasn't sure what a greenhouse was. He didn't know what a drawbridge was. So, and it's possible he's never seen one. So this is a good time if you're going to a beach and you see the drawbridge go up, that you say, oh, there's a drawbridge. Do you know what that is? And point that out to them. So words that they may not hear all the time is something parents should be bringing up during the summer months before they start back. Before you know it, school's back in less than a month. They'll be returning exactly about a month tomorrow. A lot of them start on the 8th here in Atlanta. And, we're working hard over the summer, especially with the reading skills, to help kids either get past their deficiencies or get ahead. Definitely reach out to us. I am going to be speaking at a homeschool expo at the end of this month in Cobb County. I will be posting more about that soon. If you'd like to come listen, I'm going to be doing a topic on writing, 3rd through 8th graders writing, and also SAT and ACT. So I'm not sure which days I'm going to be speaking which topic, but I will let you know. I know a lot of people have been looking at my SAT, ACT blogs. So I just definitely want to make sure you're aware that I'm going to be out there. We also have a virtual summit coming up that about 8 of us are doing. We're excited about that. And they're all educators. It's going to be a professional parent support summit. It's going to be a back to school summit, and it's the week of September 12th through the 16th. More information coming out about that as well, but it will be online and there'll be a small registration fee. Would love for you to join us for that. Great topics, great speakers. So bye for now, folks. If you need anything, you know how to reach out to me. My email is right there below on the screen, and my number 770-282-9931. We'll be back on next Thursday with another Lunch and Learn topic, and we hope to see you then. Take care for now. Bye.